Level 1. The unknown face. Nobody knows who you are. You walk through crowded streets without anyone noticing. You can spend hours in a shopping mall, eat in a restaurant, or ride public transportation, and nobody remembers your face. Your life is completely ordinary, but every time you watch a famous actor accept an award, a singer perform before thousands, or a creator go viral, the same question enters your mind. Could that ever be me? Most people let that thought disappear. You don't. Instead, you decide to create. Maybe it's videos, music, comedy, acting, or photography. You upload your first project. 5 views. 3 are probably yours. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Nothing changes. Friends quietly laugh, and even your family starts wondering if you're wasting your time. Sometimes you wonder too, but instead of giving up, you make another project, then another. Eventually, you realize that talent only starts the journey. Consistency is what keeps it alive. Level 2. The first spark. Then one day, something changes. One upload performs better than all the others. Not millions of views, maybe 50,000. To the internet, that's nothing. To you, it's everything. For the first time, strangers comment on your work, share your videos, and recommend you to their friends. Your phone won't stop buzzing. You read every comment, including the negative ones, because criticism means people actually watched. Soon, you become obsessed with understanding why this one succeeded. Was it the thumbnail, the title, the timing, or pure luck? No one really knows. That's when you stop waiting for motivation. Instead, you build discipline. Uploading becomes part of your routine. Little by little, your confidence grows. Not because you've become famous, but because you've proven that complete strangers are willing to spend their time listening to you. That's enough to keep chasing the dream. Level 3. The rising star. Years pass and your audience becomes loyal. People recognize your editing style, your personality, and even your catchphrases. When you disappear for a week, people notice and ask where you've been. Brands begin offering sponsorships. They're small, but they prove something important. Your creativity has value. For the first time, your passion starts paying your bills. But popularity also changes your life. Every opinion starts debates. Every mistake becomes public. People judge your words, your appearance, and even your silence. You slowly discover the hidden price of attention. The more people know your name, the less control you have over how they see you. Still, you'd never return to your old life because now you know the impossible dream is actually possible. Level 4. The national celebrity. Everything changes almost overnight. One collaboration, one interview, one viral moment. Suddenly, millions recognize your face. People stop you at airports, restaurants, and shopping malls asking for selfies and autographs. Some even tell you your work helped them through depression, loneliness, or difficult times. For the first time, you realize your content isn't just entertainment anymore. It's become part of people's lives. Major companies want partnerships. Television producers invite you onto their shows. Magazine covers feature your face. Your career grows so quickly that you hire editors, managers, lawyers, and agents to keep everything running. Life becomes bigger, faster, and louder, but privacy quietly disappears. A simple trip to the grocery store becomes an event. Every public appearance attracts attention. Fame opens incredible doors, but it also closes the door to an ordinary life. Level 5. The global superstar. Soon, your fame spreads beyond your own country. People recognize you in places you've never visited, different languages, different cultures, the exact same reaction. Wait, is that really you? Your movies, music, videos, and interviews reach millions every single day. Luxury brands compete to work with you. Major studios offer contracts. World tours fill your schedule years into the future. Eventually, money stops being your biggest challenge. Time becomes far more valuable. Everyone wants a meeting, an interview, or a collaboration. Your image becomes a business worth millions, and every public decision carries enormous consequences. Late at night, after the cameras disappear and the applause fades, your mind drifts back to that very first upload. 5 views. 3 were probably yours. It's incredible how the biggest dreams always begin with moments that seem completely insignificant. Level 6. The mega celebrity. At this point, your name arrives before you do. Walk into almost any airport and someone recognizes you. Even people who have never watched your movies or videos still know your face. You've become part of popular culture. Award shows become routine. Red carpets no longer make your heart race. What once felt unbelievable now feels like another day at work. But fame doesn't make life easier. It makes every mistake louder. One photo becomes tomorrow's headline. One misunderstood sentence dominates social media for weeks. Millions of people form opinions about someone they've never actually met. They don't know the real you. They know the public version. Behind the cameras, life is surprisingly normal. You still get tired. You still question yourself before every new project. Success hasn't removed your fears. It has simply placed them under a spotlight. Level 7. The cultural icon. Now your influence reaches far beyond entertainment. A hairstyle you wear becomes a trend. A sentence you casually say turns into a meme. Clothes sell out because people saw you wearing them. One recommendation can make a small company famous overnight. One criticism can hurt a billion-dollar brand. That's when you realize your words carry real weight. Your career opens doors you never imagined. You meet presidents, world-famous athletes, business leaders, and childhood heroes. The impossible slowly becomes normal, but fame also changes your relationships. Some old friends become distant. Some people stay close only because of your success. Learning who truly cares about you becomes one of the hardest lessons of your life. Eventually, you discover something more valuable than money: trust, because money attracts attention. Trust brings peace. Level 8. The living legend. Years continue passing. New celebrities appear every month. New platforms rise, and new trends take over the internet. Yet somehow, your career survives them all. You no longer chase every trend because you've become bigger than trends themselves. Young creators openly admit they started because of you. They study your interviews, your performances, and your decisions the same way you once studied someone else's. The dream you spent years chasing is now inspiring millions of others to begin their own journey. Your achievements fill award shows, documentaries, and books. Universities analyze your influence, and people discuss your career as an example of what dedication can accomplish. Looking back, you realize your greatest accomplishments were never the headlines. They were the people you inspired, a performance that helped someone through grief, a speech that gave a student confidence, a song that became someone's favorite memory. Those moments last longer than any record or trophy. As your legacy grows, success stops feeling like a destination. Instead, it becomes a responsibility. Every interview, every speech, and every public appearance gives you another chance to inspire someone you've never met. Young creators no longer see you as just another celebrity. They see living proof that impossible dreams can become reality. That's when you finally understand what legacy really means. It isn't built in one extraordinary moment. It's built through thousands of ordinary days where you chose to keep going when quitting would have been easier. Level 9. The Immortal Legacy. Eventually, your career becomes history, not because it ends, because it becomes timeless. Children discover your work decades after it was created. Parents introduce your movies, music, and performances to the next generation. Your influence no longer depends on television, algorithms, or social media. It simply becomes part of culture. Some of your greatest creations are quoted every day by people who don't even realize where they came from. Your story becomes proof that extraordinary lives almost always begin in completely ordinary places. Looking back, you realize the private jets, the mansions, the awards, and the headlines were never the real reward. They were only the consequences. The real reward was proving that an ordinary person with an impossible dream could change millions of lives. Looking back, you realize success was never built in one lucky moment. It came from thousands of ordinary days when nobody was watching, days when your videos barely received views, days when you questioned yourself, days when quitting would have been the easier choice. Those quiet moments shaped your future far more than the standing ovations ever did. Fame may have changed your life, but perseverance created it. Every setback became another lesson. Every failure forced you to improve. Without those difficult years, none of the extraordinary moments would have ever existed. You remember that younger version of yourself, sitting alone, uploading something nobody cared about, refreshing the screen again and again, hoping for one more view. Right now, somewhere in the world, another unknown creator is doing exactly the same thing. They're uploading their very first video, recording their very first song, writing their very first script, wondering if anyone will ever notice. They don't know what the future holds. Neither did you, because every legend, every icon, every superstar, every unforgettable celebrity started exactly the same way, as someone the world had never heard of, until one day, it finally did.